Hi guys, this is for a couple of guys on Teak forums that want to take a look at my coil winder. Let's take a look. Here she is. Right, little board on the side. It's basically a counter board from newman, I think it is. Two types that you can get. One is pre-assembled, one is do-it-yourself. I went for the do-it-yourself option because it's cheaper, quite a bit cheaper, and soldered it myself. Right. Carriage in the middle. Right, this is the good bit. Right, you can see the wire there, and I made some makeshift switches. Now, I'm going to show you the operation here. Right, come out a bit. If I that one moves left. To the right one, it moves right. Wonderful! We'd like that. I've just put 50 winds on the spool already. That's a makeshift spool from some PVC pipe and a bit of wooden rings. So let's see here. Just put 50 on, as I said. Set. Right. We'll put another 50 on, so we'll take it up to 100 winds. There we go. Run. Right. Set 50. Right. For this, I really need two hands, because one of the problems with auto winders is tensioning on the wire. Now I could create an automatic tensioner using some springs, but I haven't got round to doing that yet. This is just well, a cheap sort of concept version really. So, going to need two hands, so I'm going to put my camera down somewhere where you can see it running. Right, so just bear with me, and apologies for well, any bad work. Just bear with me. Right, hopefully you can see the camera there. He said. Move it across slightly, just need to re-angle the camera, just bear with me. I might, well, edit this bit out. Right, there we go. Looks like you can see everything there quite nicely. So, there's the wire, there's my hand. One hand just to tension the wire, and then we plug it in. Oops. And as you can hear, the motor for the carriage shifting it across quite nicely. I'm putting quite a bit of tension on, unfortunately. 67, 70. This is just a test coil, so I can show you exactly how it works. Battery's getting a bit flat now for some reason. And voila. That's another 100 winds. So, not brilliant, could stand some improvement. The reason it runs so slow is because of those two resistors there. Why have I done that? Because the Newman counterboard has a slight problem. it only turns off the motor when the current count value equals what you've told it. So if you go over, right, it still continues to wind, which is a problem, because I found with the motor connected directly, when it turns off, it continues rotating for about 1.5 turns, which then increments the counter and it turns it back on again. Yeah, slight problem there. So, not exactly brilliant, that isn't, but we have to live with it, unfortunately. So that's simple enough. How does the switch work on the carriage? Okay, let's take a look. Right, inside there you can see 2 copper wires. They're connected to basically positive. Right, when it touches that pin there, which is a nail, right, it completes the circuit, turns one of those relays on in there, right, which then connects the other side, one side of the motor to positive, right, which then turns it over. If the other one turns, it turns the other side of the motor to positive. Right, so in its state like it is now, right, both sides of that motor are connected to negative. Right, now if for some reason both of those two touch and both relays activate, it won't short out, because both sides of the motor would then be connected to positive. And that's a simple way of doing the relays. Right, so that's that one. Simple enough. Originally tried it with some micro switches, but unfortunately the micro switches themselves required too much force to activate. So I ended up making my own little switches. Well, lever switches effectively they are. So that's that. It's simple enough winder, just a few annoyances. Something else to let you know about. The main gearing here, right, that's on there to push that little switch, so it'll count. Right, using a worm gear, as you can see. Right, now the problem is that it's plastic worm gears, and I've gone through about 3 sets. Well, I think that's the 3rd set that's on it, for the simple reason being that occasionally the wire gets snagged on something, and there was that much power in the motor that it was just chewing up the gears. Hence another reason for having the resistors on. Now, one thing I would recommend that people do is, yes, use a worm gear to gear it down, right, which is what you need to do, but also from there run a belt drive to the actual shaft that the spool's on. That way, if it does get snagged, the motor can continue to turn, right, and the belt drive will just slip. Okay, and that'll stop you from chewing through gears, bending shafts and all the rest of it, or even worse, snapping your wire. Had that. It's annoying. Anyway, hope that helps people, and see you on another video. Bye bye.